Hello, I'm Marc Lamber. I'm a lawyer at Lamber Goodnow. I've been practicing now for 32 years, and for the entire time, I've been practicing in the area of plaintiff personal injury. That means I represent victims. So the first tidbit of information I have for you with respect to car insurance is know what insurance you have before you're involved in an accident. Because when you're involved in an accident, that's the worst time to find out that you don't have the right insurance, you don't have enough insurance, or you don't have any insurance. It is almost statistically certain that you're going to be involved in a car accident at least once in your life, particularly if you live in Arizona. It's a commuter city. There's a lot of roadways, a lot of cars. And from what I see, people are involved in multiple car accidents over the course of their life. Because of that, it's imperative that you know how much insurance you and your family have before there's an accident. Because if you're looking into it after there's an accident, you can't change it and it's too late. So if you don't have insurance, you're stuck. Why is this relevant? If you're involved in a car accident, many of the car accidents are not going to be your fault. They're going to be some other driver's fault. And then your recourse, if you're injured, is against the other driver. If the other driver doesn't have the right insurance, or like many drivers, doesn't have any insurance, you are not getting anything unless you have a specific type of coverage that you have to request. The insurance that you should request for your family and for yourself, in case someone hurts you and they don't have enough insurance, is called underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage. What are those two things? Underinsured means the other driver simply didn't have enough insurance. So in Arizona, you can have a minimum of $25,000 in insurance. If you're injured seriously, that's not going to come near covering it. Because there's not enough insurance that the other driver has, then you have to dip into your own insurance, which is called underinsured motorist coverage. You have to pay separately for that. And you have to get that when you're getting insurance, not when you're involved in an accident. And then there are times, and I see it too often as a 30-year lawyer, is people who are injured in car accidents or worse, and the other driver has no insurance. And you can address that by having something called uninsured motorist coverage. That is, if the other driver doesn't have anything, then you've got a policy to go after. It's your own, but it's going to allow you to collect for your injuries, for your pain and suffering, for your lost time from work, and any related expenses. In the business, underinsured and uninsured motorists is referred to as UM/UIM. And it's important not only to have that insurance on your own auto, but it's important to have the right amount of insurance. You just don't check a box and have it. You check a box and have it in a particular amount. I'd like to discuss with you what is the recommended amount to carry for UM/UIM, uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. The state, the minimum is $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident. So if there are multiple people involved in an accident in a car, the most you can recover for all of them combined is $50,000, and the most any one person can recover is $25,000. That is the state minimum, and that is not enough. So what I recommend is that you raise the insurance coverage up to $250,000, $500,000. That's typically the most you can have on your insurance. So what that means is if you're involved in an accident, the other driver has no insurance or not enough and injures you or a family member, you have a total of $250,000 to go after per person, $500,000 to go after total. Super, super important. In addition, practicing the 3 decades that I have, I've seen often that even $250,000, $500,000 is not enough. It's not enough if someone is seriously injured or worse. So on top of that, we recommend purchasing something called an umbrella policy. An umbrella, picture a rain umbrella, and it protects you from the rain. It protects everything under it from the rain. Same thing, an umbrella policy is going to protect you and your family with additional coverage. If you're involved in an accident that someone else caused and you have bigger injuries, you can add $1 million layers, umbrella layers, on top of the $250,000, $500,000. I recommend having at least an additional $1 million. If you've been involved in an accident or a family member's been involved in an accident, you really need to call a lawyer, particularly if you've been injured. Because what I've seen over 30 years, and I don't think there's any disagreement, is when you're involved in an accident, you can bet on one thing. An insurance company is going to try to keep the money on their end and not pay you a fair amount. So I'm there to fight for you, and I've been doing that for 3 decades.